Hey guys, Cyrus of Chaos here. Today I've got Jason Pryor with me, and we're going to watch and analyze the bout between Gergly Siklosi and Sergei Bida from the finals of Budapest World Championships this year. Enjoy!
I don't know too much about these guys, so if you want to do the intro.
Yeah, we got Siklosi and Bida, and these are two, well, I guess most guys are a little bit younger than me, but two of the kind of younger rising stars.
Yeah.
Both of them have been fencing on their teams for a little while, but kind of in the last year and a half, last 2 seasons, they both have kind of exploded.
Yeah.
Siklosi, who's had a couple of podiums, and this result, and actually just won Heidenheim Cup last month. And Bida just won Qatar.
And now is number one in the world, right?
Now is number one in the world.
Yeah.
And both of them have actually really, as younger guys, kind of stepped into the heavy hitter role on their teams a little bit.
And I personally think that both of them are pretty interesting to watch as far as epee fencers go.
Yes, they have. Actually, this is a really interesting matchup because both of them have exceptional technique, but Bida, he likes to use his physicality.
Yeah, he's big and
he is big. He's strong.
He knows how to use it,
and definitely knows how to use sort of his power and explosiveness. And Siklosi, he's got a lot of size and whatnot, but he's very subtle with how he uses his athleticism. He has very subtle technique. It doesn't. You could watch him and really not realize all the things he's doing to manipulate the technique and whatnot.
So when you say subtle use of athleticism, you mean a lot of acceleration and just barely hitting you at the edge of his his attack or something?
I would say he's sneaky. It's just oftentimes he moves and it seems like he's not moving a lot. He is.
Being sneaky is great.
Yeah, he's able to kind of sneak up before boom, then he pulls the trigger and then he's doing something and bam, he hits the short target, and he's being very sort of subtle. Get a little bit closer before you pull the trigger. Appear like you're farther away than you actually are. Get slow up, nope. Then there's the trigger pull.
Have you fenced either of these guys before?
I've fenced them both.
Okay.
A lot. Siklosi more so in camps. I don't think that they weren't fencing him on the team when I was still fencing the team events, and I fenced Bida a lot because they've been using him on team with Russia for a while now, and we seem to have drawn Russia a lot in those years.
Unlucky.
Fun, but yes, unlucky.
Yeah.
Russia's good.
All right, let's see what happens in this bout.
Yeah.
The ceremony for this was really, really cool.
Yeah. They've gotten very good at the production value at Worlds.
Yes, they have. I wish it was like that for the other tournaments, but, it's a good place to start.
One day.
Yeah, hopefully.
And so you see really right out of the gate, Bida likes to assert himself. Be very aggressive with the preparation, get into his opponent's kind of area, push him back to make something happen.
And it's also worth mentioning that this is in Budapest, which is Siklosi's home country, so he's going to have a ton of support from the crowd. And I was in this room, as I know you were, and when the Hungarians are screaming, it is deafening.
Yeah, I actually wasn't here, but...
Oh, were you not?
Oh, no. Yeah, really, really nice touch, kind of out of the gate again. He pushes, he leads, and then pulls the trigger and kind of binds him in the 8 to the hip.
It actually kind of looked like Siklosi had the blade there, but Bida was so strong he just kind of oh, maybe not. No, I'm wrong. He tried to counterattack onto him.
Yeah, and it's hard to do because, again, once Bida kind of starts, hard to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Very hard to stop. And if he catches you in one of those moments where you're sort of kind of with it, he hits you. And again, same thing, kind of in and out, being very, very oppressive with the tip, showing a blade take.
I love that style. Much more proactive.
Very Russian, 6'8", 6'8", 6'8". Get in your grill. Pull the trigger.
Ooh.
Pulled the trigger from a little bit further out than he probably should have.
Yeah, look at the distance there. That was really nice.
Yeah, that's why I mean
That was perfect.
Yeah, he's good at those. He seems like he's hanging around. He's not. He's kind of setting you up to maybe make you pull the trigger a little bit soon, and then whoo, gone.
Like a ghost.
Again, Bida back to work. And that's kind of his go-to. And that's actually very Russian, like being very oppressive. And to see, like, are you going to let me control you? Can I run these touches up? And if I can, relentless. 6'8", 6'8". And he's not going to give up once that distance collapses.
Oh.
Never give up on the touch.
Yeah. Keep going until the ref yells halt. This is a beautiful angle, but
yeah,
can't really see from there.
And I like Siklosi now. He's trying to be a little bit more assertive with pressing that preparation.
Ooh, that was good.
Yeah, to get him kind of off his back. And that's something that he hadn't pulled out until right then, that attack in the preparation.
It's Ramiz too, right?
No, it was the first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to tell because the mask light doesn't come on at exactly the right time. Come on, camera angle.
This is great because the matchup oftentimes gets decided with this sort of like preparation fight in between. Who's leading, who's being more aggressive, who's kind of getting their point a little bit deeper first.
Ooh.
And eventually what Bida likes to do is just kind of like push you back and make it happen. I think he may have missed.
Yeah, I thought he took 6 and then missed his post.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great remise from Siklosi.
And that's why he's so frustrated there. He had the opportunity, he just whiffed it.
Yeah. But again, like, Bida won the action. He was right. So he goes right back to what he's doing. And that's another thing that the two of them, they've always been good at this, but particularly in the last couple years, you see that they're very good at kind of like letting go of the last touch. You know, it's like in the moment he's frustrated, but again, right back to work, right back to doing what he does. And both of them were hot all day. And you saw that, you know, they both had moments when the bout almost seemed like it was getting away from them. And then
you mean in previous bouts or in
previous bouts at World Championships, and they really just put foot back to the neck.
I have a theory question for you. So you said because he missed the execution on that, it wasn't a big deal. He just goes back to his plan. How many times would you theoretically say it would take for him to miss touches like that before he decides he needs to do something different? Would it be like 2 times after the 3rd time?
I mean,
I realize it's a theoretical question, but
it's touch and feel depending on the bout. But if you miss, like, if you win the action and you just whiff it, like, you know, 2-3 times, it's like, all right, maybe you're not seeing something. Maybe you think you're whiffing it, but something else has gone wrong.
Yeah.
But again, like, certainly for one, I think that's like something that you see a lot as you get a little bit more mature, is recognizing when you were correct in things you did and the finish just kind of didn't happen for whatever reason.
Versus when the setup was wrong and you needed to change something.
Yeah, and that's a difficult thing to realize. There's a lot of adrenaline, and of course your opponent's like doing a lot of things too, so they may be changing
the parameters.
But yeah, I mean, I think that both of those guys do that very well. They realize I was right and I just missed that touch, not a big deal, and they realize, ooh, I did something wrong. I need to go back, refresh, like maybe take like a different approach to this.
Yeah, because I agree with you. In Sabre, usually if I've misexecuted something twice, I'll just change it, even if I feel like I'm not executing well, because at a certain point you need to change something.
Of course. But it's tricky, and sometimes people
tricky, for sure.
move off of the answer that's actually working just because it's, they miss it and they get spooked off of what was going right. But again, Siklosi does a lot of great stuff, kind of like trying to lead counteroffensively.
That was a nice flesh.
That was great flesh.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming at all. Sometimes you can see like from the way that their body is doing something, but that was just real smooth. No real indication it was about to happen. Great
Very
angle.
Good at hiding it.
Yeah. Also notice he's really good at protecting his foot.
Yeah, it's a cheap I wouldn't say cheap, but it's a flashy way going for the low target, and oftentimes people kind of, as they get more complicated with their hand, they kind of lose focus with what's going on with their feet. So if you're very good at the foot touch, it not only is a great short target to exploit, but then if you scare people a little bit, then you can use that short target to, again, fake to go in a little bit deeper, really draw them in something early to pick up the second intention, blade action.
It's just like in like being on defense in Sabre, the more things you've got your opponent thinking about, the harder it's going to be for them. Oh, that's cool. Because if they start to think about like the fact that their foot is under threat, it takes away from the game of moving and just like thinking about what your opponent's doing with their hand a little bit. It's just another variable you have to consider.
Yeah, the beginning is always interesting, and because both of these guys, Bida likes to be more aggressive and Siklosi likes to be more counteroffensive, so they're both kind of like leaning into their A games here. So it's always interesting when, stylistically you match up with someone and it's just like, well, I want to do this, and you're like, oh, well, this is exactly what I want you to do too. And of course, it's like one of us is very wrong here.
Yeah. That was good.
Yep. Very nice. Really waiting for him to go a little too deep on that prep to the hand.
And the balance was really good to be able to take over from there.
He's ready to tee off on you at any millisecond.
The one thing I miss about the camera being so far away is you can't hear the blade sound.
Yeah.
Like I wish I could know which of these were disengages versus like little beats.
It sometimes is it's sometimes tough to see, but you get an eye for it after like watching enough of these bouts.
That was nice.
Yeah.
He had Bida going up high with his arm.
And I think that's an example of not getting out when the action has become a little stale.
Mm-hmm.
That was perfect.
In like shooter video games, that's a sign of really real experience, knowing when to not fight and just get out of there.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's the same thing here. Like you want to hit the person, but sometimes you're just not in a good position, and it's better to just break it off.
Yeah. But again, it's very much Bida's style is a lot of times he stays in and he keeps going. And again, when he's on, he wins more of those touches than he loses.
Mm-hmm. That's nice too.
Yeah. And that classic Russian, like that sort of very powerful 6-8, it kind of gets your hand going back ever so slightly, and that's the moment when they drive deep.
Yeah, I like the preparation for that too. Because he comes forward with like a couple little accelerations. Like there, one, There's another one, and then here's the same start, but instead of stopping, he just goes into it.
And it seems like they're, waiting for you to maybe like disengage, but no, they're waiting for you to hesitate a little bit and pull the arm back, and that's when they smoothly follow into the deep target.
And Siklosi still almost got that one. I think he was flat on the mask or grazed the mask or something.
And that's the beauty of when you attack. When you lead, you have that advantage because you're choosing the moment, you're choosing the action.
Mm-hmm.
So if you land, you hit.
Yeah. Ooh! Is that a touch?
It looked like he was still on, but maybe not.
Yeah, I think he was. I think they were saying that he was passed.
Yeah.
We'll see that. So for those of you who don't know, when you pause the video on YouTube, if you press the period, you can go forward a frame, and if you press comma, you can go backwards a frame. So he does not hit here. He's passing.
And he actually touches, I think, with or maybe slightly before.
Yeah. So you would call this one?
No good.
You would say no good?
No good, because it looks like he actually steps off as he hits.
Mm-hmm.
The passing call, sometimes they call it when you're kind of like on top of each other, and sometimes they wait a little bit. So occasionally
Caught him playing with the blade too much.
But again, it's the same thing, getting you to come back and try and complicate, to retake the blade, and that's...
I'm actually surprised Siklosi didn't do something when Bida raised his arm there again. Like he did last time. I'm sure it is. It's a very fast thing to take advantage of, but...
It's fast, and then if you fence Bida enough, he hasn't gotten it yet, but he's great on that 6-8. And if he grabs a piece of your blade, he's taking your head off.
It's one of the advantages of being really strong.
It's strength, but it's also technique. He applies it so well. He'll smack the thing right out of your hand.
Ooh.
That's what I mean. The moment feels right, but if he just gets a little bit on that second intention...
The point is not where you think it is anymore.
Yeah, he just needs a little bit, and that repost comes so quick, and it's great because again he's very aggressive on that moment. Not only is that a moment to get you to come back a little bit, it's also an invitation. Try and thread this. I dare you.
This bout is mostly taking place in Siklosi's backline. Wow, another nice touch.
And that is where Siklosi, I feel like, is actually very strong. But again, Bida, he loves attacking. Now he's kind of getting that juice. He's starting to get that feeling. So it's, he makes the action and it appears to be spread out, but he's able to come back and get that counterattack. Okay, I guess he got a piece of that blade.
Yeah, he did. That's what you were saying. If he gets the blade, it goes way away.
And again, same thing, trying to bully you off the line, slowly compress you back until you begin to panic, either by stepping in too soon or giving him just a little bit of that distance so he can tee off.
Wow.
Stop.
Was Siklosi up 5-3?
He was up 5-3. And that is another reason why Bida is so exciting to watch. He feeds off momentum well. Once he starts going with that attack, he can start railing them off one after the other.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, if you give him what he wants, which is kind of backing up, it can become dangerous.
Yeah.
In the second period, the first period was all Gergly.
Well, Bida made a really good adjustment between the first and the second, because I think in the first period, at the end, he was down 2-4, and now he's up 8-5. So a 7-1 swing. 6-1. Oh my god.
Math is hard.
Someone cut that.
But yeah, I feel like he made a tiny adjustment. Like he was going a little bit more aggressive with that preparation, like being a bit more assertive, and also being able to release the distance, not too far, like still kind of near enough to bait something, and just making sure that he was the one leading out. And a couple strong actions, and he starts to really feel that moment, and he doesn't give you a lot of time to breathe before he's back on you. And this time I'll flash. He's grabbed the blade. Okay, maybe I'll complicate. Nope, teed off again. All right, well this time, nope, he grabbed the blade one more time.
We start the third and final period. Referee Juan Carlos Rios Rivera of Mexico.
Ooh.
And again, I think Siklosi is making the adjustment, being, again, trying to fight him off on that preparation. This time trying to disrupt a little bit.
Bida's been winning all those actions, too. Especially in the second half of the bout.
Yeah, but when he was past Siklosi's on guard line. And it's very different when someone's coming in your business a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah. Sometimes the adjustment is just where the actions are happening.
Do you think he would have gotten this one if he'd finished a little faster? It looks like he held it, probably because of his being off balance, but he held the riposte for a long time, even there, instead of just finishing. It was a little bit late. Do you attribute that to his balance, or just not being quite ready, or?
I think he closed distance maybe slightly quicker than he expected. But no, I mean, it's a good feel. Sometimes that press freezes your opponent just a little bit.
And when you say press, you mean with distance or the blade press?
The blade,
okay.
sorry. The same thing is coming off the on-guard line and being a little bit more assertive. But did a little too much.
Yeah.
But I like the idea. I like the adjustment.
He kind of caught him sleeping a little there.
And again, it's not Bida's good going backwards too. And again, everyone at this level, has very strong games, both defensive, offensive, counteroffensive.
I like that he just left the blade there. So that's one of those touches where, if I get by something in that and Sabre, I just kind of roll my eyes and get back on guard.
Yeah, it feels worse than it is, but...
It looked like he just missed again.
You live and die by teeing off the line. Maybe that works, but I think that action works when your opponent gets a little bit afraid at seeing that you began. But Siklosi, he's just screw it. And just stepped in.
He was also up by 3 touches, not a bad idea to just mix that in there.
Yeah, he's got ceiling to make some risky moves.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like that's how he thrives. He's not afraid to make the action. And again, I like Siklosi's idea, slowly pressing the attack, disrupting, trying to disrupt, trying to bait him into jumping in a little bit early.
He's not really biting for the most part. Oh, there he did.
Trying to find something, he found it.
Trying to find something, he found it. How did he did? Oh, that was so slight.
That's all it takes.
Yeah. That was actually a really good replay. Well, you can hear the Hungarians yelling in the background. Whoops.
I think that was a moment to collect himself a little bit. Siklosi's starting to climb back.
And that's a good thing to do when your opponent is starting to make a little run at you. Do something to break their momentum. Fix your blade. Do your hair. Didn't work this time, though.
Yeah, I think he didn't quite get Siklosi backing up the way he was in the second period. And you need to be careful when you're pressing the attack, You don't want to close and pull the trigger when you haven't gotten sort of your green light. And I think a lot of Bida's actions work good when you're either jumping on that invitation moment or kind of backing up, getting a little bit scared because of how powerful that 6-8 comes in on you. Like here, he's getting kind of that distance he wants.
I also like the adjustment here from him because he's been losing a lot of touches when he's been going backwards.
Yep.
But in the beginning, he got, the 6-1 run that I talked about before by going forwards.
Classic sort of adjustment. I come back, I take the lead, sort of attacking or being more aggressive. Okay, well, I'll sit back and let them do it. And in doing that, you kind of give the momentum to your opponent, and they start really becoming, more leading more. They start becoming more assertive and oppressing their game on you.
Yeah.
But, of course, now Bida is like
back. Ooh, that was nice.
Back at it. Yeah. And he's good. That invitation, he comes in and you think, here's the moment to flesh, and his hand's strong. He has excellent parries.
And he looks like he's not in a good position, but he's actually pretty on balance here.
Press release 4.
Yeah.
Again, it's just like he gave the moment. Siklosi fleshed. He's able to close the door.
You bring yourself in a very difficult position now. He has to press.
Minute left. Now we're starting to get to the end game.
This is the way
Oh! Just like I said, he's sneaky with it,
Yeah.
Close that distance, and absolutely pins him.
Yeah, he did.
That's
He
and
really
that's
did
like
that.
out of a textbook.
Ooh!
Yeah. He's good to the short target, which is something he actually hasn't done the whole bout,
Yeah.
which makes it especially interesting because, he picks the hand pretty well, typically.
Yeah.
Which is a credit to how Siklosi has actually been playing that preparation game.
Oh, again!
Yeah, and I think right there, Siklosi just did not take the time he needed.
To set up the action.
Yeah.
It makes it very different now.
But here's where the best of adjustments work. 43 seconds left. Siklosi pressing, being assertive, but backing off, not only going in one direction.
Ooh! That was real persistent.
Yeah. Feeling the moment when he's kind of backing up but not ready for the continuation.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't try to make an offensive action off of that at some point. He just kept trying to knock the blade out of the way. Wow.
Wasn't ready.
Surprise.
Yeah.
That's... up 13-11 with 30 seconds left in World Championships is definitely not a time not to be ready. Let's just watch that again.
But it's hard. Siklosi hasn't stepped off the line. He doesn't step off the line very often.
Yeah, he usually just goes backwards.
And Bida wanted to, again, start coming forward, but
Oh, hello.
wasn't ready.
Yeah.
So that was a bold but very, very smart choice on Siklosi. Now, again, that was like barely even a little over 10 seconds. And now it's a 1-point match with 32 to go.
Mm-hmm.
And again, being aggressive on those preparations and then pulling the trigger going low. First time he's gone low.
Either of them, actually, right?
Yeah. So again, it's not only, I think, controlling the preparation, it's also the decision. He's opening up and going to different targets in the final stretch of the bout that he hasn't done before. And now he can feel Bida's discomfort.
Yeah.
Where Bida had such massive control over the bout, like even, not even a minute ago. He's suddenly taken his confidence.
So if you're Bida, do you press forward now like you were doing in the beginning?
Absolutely, but, taking the time.
Be careful.
Over fencing would be the death toll. And again, Bida seems like he's doing the same thing, but I think doesn't quite get that sort of caving or stepping into the
Russian
invitation that he wants. And now there's 20 seconds left, and again, Bida, I think, moving in one direction. You can see how Siklosi is, leading the preparation, looking for the moment to step in. And that I feel like is...
Was it the first double of the bout?
I think they may have gotten a double before, but that was one of the best 45 seconds at the end of a match that you see at any World Cup, much less the championship match at Worlds.
Yeah.
Olympic year.
Look at that smile.
Yeah, I think one of the best bouts you could see high level Epee playing out.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons.
That was good. You could see the tactics changing as the time went on too.
And that's something that's indicative of these fencers and anyone who's going deep into the second day. There's several adjustments that will occur to pull off the bout. And oftentimes what works in the beginning of the bout will stop working because they'll change the distance, they'll change the action, they'll start stopping that preparation, they'll start opening up the targets, they'll change where the actions are happening, and then there's another adjustment to retake control, and then another adjustment, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Well, it was a good bout.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good suggestion.